Hello and welcome. Today we're diving into the calm world of mandala drawing, a beautiful and meditative art form that's perfect for relieving anxiety and stress. I'll be sharing my tips and tricks for drawing this beautiful mandala. So whether you're a seasoned artist or just starting out, let me guide you through the whole process from start to finish. I'll guide you in unlocking your creative potential, helping you discover a deep sense of peace and tranquility through artistic expression. We'll start by drawing a basic mandala grid in pencil, and I've linked a video on how to do this in my description below. So grab your favourite drawing tools, settle into a comfy spot, and let's create some mandala art together. Let's get started. To begin, we're going to start by drawing petal shapes, starting from the third circle from the center. So we're going to go around our mandala and span two segments from the center of the petal, that is, from the third circle. So that sounds very complicated, but once you get started, it's very, very simple. So make sure we have a nice curved line for our petal and that they touch gently at the base. Our second row of petals, we are repeating the same shape as the first row, and we're simply going to move one circle out and draw these petals all the way around. Just pressing lightly with our pencil. For the third row, if you're counting, we will be starting from the sixth circle, which is two circles further out from the previous petal. There's no need to worry about starting on the right circle. Just draw the same shape consistently around the whole mandala. The next row, we're going out by one circle. It's the same shape once again, and we're filling in the gap left by the row. The next row, we are starting two circles beyond the row previously, and again we're repeating the same beautiful curved petal shape as we go around the mandala. Being mindful here to draw our shapes as consistently as we can. And the next row, we are two circles beyond the previous row. So the petal will sit two circles beyond the previous row. And again, we're repeating the exact same shape. But as these shapes get larger, we do have to just lightly sketch that shape in. So we're not pressing too hard with our pencil. We're just lightly sketching the shape so that we can adjust it if we need to at this stage. And you can see that we're filling in the space left from the previous row. So the next row, we are repeating exactly the same thing once again, and we are going three circles beyond the previous row. And again, we're creating larger petal shapes. So we're sketching lightly our beautiful curved edge. And as we draw these petals over and over, we're finding that we're drawing them a little bit better every time. And we've reached our final row of petals, and this is the largest petal. So we're drawing lightly once again and filling in that gap left by the previous row. Lightly sketching that pencil line in, bringing it down to touch the row before. So hopefully now that we've drawn this shape so many times, we're finding it a little easier to draw as we repeat the same shapes over and over. So that's it for the pencil sketch. And now we move on to our black ink outlines. And here I'm using an Artline medium 0.6 millimeter tip texture. You can use anything that you may have already. So we're going to sit up straight and plant our feet on the ground. And as we start drawing in our black lines, we're also going to be aware of our breathing. So we've drawn these shapes before with our pencil. So this is a very satisfying part of the whole process where we are cementing in these lines, so to speak. The texture, the ink is making a permanent record of what we've drawn. So we're going to enjoy this process. We're not going to be holding the pen too tight. The point of this exercise is to have your energy flowing and to sit comfortably. So breathing in and then drawing on the out breath. I find this does work best for me. It really centers me and it makes me more aware of my whole body rather than just focusing on the artwork and the result of what I'm drawing. I'm engaging my whole body, I'm engaging my breath, my energy, and it's flowing out through my hand, through the pen, onto the paper. And I find that by sitting with your feet on the floor and just being aware of being in a comfortable drawing position, it really allows that flow to happen very naturally. So we continue drawing our black lines row by row as we drew them with pencil to begin with. Drawing can activate your body's natural relaxation response, and this is a state of deep rest that decreases stress. So it slows your breathing and your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, and brings your body and mind back into balance. Relaxation techniques like breathing and meditation are also a great way to achieve this, but drawing repetitive shapes like mandalas can also achieve this result. In 2020 in China, they did a study and they found that mandala drawing has a positive effect on your well-being and spirituality. And this provides people with a simple and easy method to improve their happiness. Creating art lowers the stress hormone levels. The results of this study indicated that creating art resulted in a significant lowering of cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone. The participants in the study indicated that they found the art making session to be relaxing, enjoyable and helpful for learning about new aspects of their self and freeing them from their constraints, giving them an overall feeling of well-being. I believe that drawing mandalas is a form of self-care. You know, even a few minutes of drawing each day will allow your mind to relax, and this reduces the anxiety and stress in your body. So here we are finishing up the black outlines, and it's looking great. Here's where we can rub out our pencil lines from the grid. We don't have to rub out the lines, but you can if you like. So let's grab some colour pencils. Any colour pencils you might have lying around, they don't have to be expensive ones. I like to find some that have a few colour variations of each colour, because I do like to colour not flat. I like to create kind of gradients, where you're blending one colour with another, just to make it a little bit more interesting. We're going to start with our yellow pencil, and we're just going to lightly shade it towards the outer edge of the petal, just leaving a little bit at the end, leaving it white. The next row is a pale green, so we're just slightly darkening the tone from yellow, and as we work our way out, the next row will be our green row. And here I'm just using a lighter and a darker green to create a subtle gradient, just for a bit of variation, a bit of interest. Our next row, we're moving to a sky blue or a light blue colour, and again I'm using 2 tones of this blue just to create a slight gradient and a bit more interest. Darker in the centre and then lighter colour towards the outer edges of the petal. The next row is the darker blue row. Once again, darker in the centre and lighter at the outer edge. And this just gives a nice subtle effect, creates a bit of interest. The next row will be our purple row, where it's sort of a bluey, light bluey colour to a darker purple. Colouring is a great way to relieve stress. It really does calm the brain and helps your body relax. And I think it kind of reminds us of our childhood, so we automatically go into, a state of mind where perhaps we were happier and freer in our lives when we were children. Colouring, I believe, helps to improve sleep and fatigue because it decreases the feelings of depression, anxiety. So having a colouring in session to me holds great value. So as you colour, pay attention to your breathing. Ensure that you use steady full breaths from your diaphragm and tune into your slowed heart rate if you can. So these outer rows are the reds and the pinks. Once again, just doing a lighter tip for just that added effect. I've made some colour suggestions, but of course feel free to use whatever colours you have available. There's no right or wrong. Let go of any judgments or expectations and enjoy the simple beauty of colouring. It doesn't matter if your picture is neat or messy. The only thing that really matters is that you found enjoyment and relaxation while colouring. So now that we've finished our colouring, I always like to go over the top of the black outlines and just strengthen those up a little bit more, just to create a bit of interest. And some of the lines we will make them a little bit heavier just to create more depth. So we'll just keep them pretty simple towards the centre, and then as we work towards the outer petals, I'm just going to thicken up those lines at the tips of the petals just to bring them out a little bit more. And the final 2 rows are going to be slightly thicker once again. A nice thick black outline certainly always makes a mandala pop, and that's sometimes the only difference between a good artwork and a great artwork. So the outer row of petals will have the thickest black outline. That's where we're really going to create impact. So get a nice thick line on that outer edge if you can. and we are complete. Such a beautiful, colourful mandala. It's certainly going to bring joy every time you look at it. I hope that by drawing and colouring in this way, it can help you to cope with some of the stresses in your life, as drawing has done in my life. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.